There was one teacher, in fact I was named after Sister Dolores, and she was a very pretty teacher, but I didn't have her. She taught the other 8th grade, but she had taught my brother Peter, and then that was where I got my middle name. Gertrude came from our mother Gertrude. She was another nun that my brother Peter liked, and all the grandparents the children had been named after Peter. They were named after all the, and when they came to me, why, they ran out of grandparents, so Peter named me Gertrude Dolores, so that's where I got my name. But then when, like, Beatty, Josie, and I, that really was depression. So my father in high school then, I took college course for 2 years, and then I knew I wasn't going to go to college, so I took commercial course. So I learned how to type and take shorthand, in art appreciation and music appreciation, subjects that really were kind of fun to take.
Were you a good student?
Well, I really didn't like to study. You know, I liked to go to school, and I liked what was going on, but I just didn't like to study. I just found that doing the Latin translations, I was maybe like a B- student. You know, I never had a soft doll, cuddly doll. We used to have, I can remember having like a Cats and Jammies. It was in, one of my brothers brought it back to me once from New York, and we didn't have very many toys. We really, you think now, you think they're crazy with the toys, but we didn't have many. We didn't have many toys. We'd go out in the backyard and played with dirt, and we'd take some of the weeds, and that would be, and we'd make a scale. We'd get a board and stick it on in the middle of a stone to weigh the weeds. And this would be rice, and this would be coffee, you know, and we'd play store, and we used to entertain ourselves, and we'd play hide, go seek, and we'd jump rope and all. So finally, once then, I was able to sell chances. It seems like we were forever selling chances. You go to your neighbors or something, and they'd take a chance like for 10 cents or something, you know, and if you sold so many, then there was a prize. So this time I got this cute little doll, and that was my first doll. I can remember having a Cupid doll. There's a picture of me taken with my... So there wasn't any refrigeration. So we did, my mother used to can, we had a pear tree in our backyard. We used to have an apple orchard on a farm that my father, it was in Higginham, which was maybe 6 miles from Middletown. But he bought it for a summer place for my mother. I was about 3 years old at the time. And we stayed there one summer, and my mother had so much company that she never wanted to go back there again. So he rented the place out. But we used to get our apples from the farm. They were Baldwin apples. And we would have enough apples to last us all winter long. They were stored in barrels in our cellar. And then she would can peaches from Lyman's Orchard. That's our big apple orchard in Middletown. Pears, huckleberries, which are similar to blueberries. We used to go huckleberrying on the farm. Pickled peppers. She'd put peppers in these big jars with vinegar and a rock on top to keep them submerged. Eggplant. She would make an eggplant combination that we used to. So we all summer long we'd be busy canning and stuff. So when I got married, I used to buy, like, when the applesauce were on sale in the fall, I would buy like 24 cans, and I said, that's my canning. Oh yeah, my mother used to make wine and beer and root beer. The wine, our cellar was a real cellar. It had like a dirt floor, so there was no heat down there at all. And we had grape vines in our backyard. So he would use part of those, and then he would get the grapes from California. And they would come in these, maybe 20-pound boxes they were. And we had a wonderful time eating these white grapes, that came from California, that my mother used to grind up, and then you put them in a press to extract all the juices from it. And the juices were put in an open barrel. Yes, and we used to have big parties like at the carnival time during Lent. And I can remember families dancing at their houses. I would say because we were a big family. So when we sat around the dining room table, we were like 10 people without. And then my sister-in-law, my brother Peter was married, then she was a member of our family. And then when Brother Tony got married, my sister-in-law Rose, and everybody married, and then we would all go to my mother's on Sunday.
Did you share a bedroom?
Oh yes, we had a third floor addition, which was at one time an attic, and that was made into 2 large bedrooms. And the girls shared one bedroom. There were 5 of us now, and there were 2 beds in there. So Teresa and Tata shared one bed, and Beatty, Josie, and I being the youngest, was in the middle. And then my brothers had the other bedroom. And then I just remember Brother Jimmy sharing the other bedroom. But then when he got married, then I think Tata and I went in there, and my sister Teresa got married. So eventually it was just I with 2 bedrooms.